Alright, welcome back to another Mirror Dungeon run. This is my 5th Mirror Dungeon run ever. This is also a post-commentary. Again, if you haven't watched the last video, basically what happened was my laptop is currently at the repair shop because one of its fans went kaput, so I am recording this on my iPad instead. Team selection thought process, I just wanted combat and support passives here. I typically take the binary star shop. It's just money is good. I like monies. That's it. That's really it. Same reason for why I take accumulating star cloud for the first thing, which I don't actually know how it works. I did another run with it today and it's not quite clear to me how exactly it works. And then I took the theme pack one because I figured I had enough new theme packs for it to be worthwhile. I believe here I take the fluorescent lamp. I don't remember, but at the very least nowadays I'm more, I take the, that one. That one's also not bad. Though I'm forgetting what it does off the top of my head because I don't memorize these things. And I'm also not very fast at reading. But that makes sense actually, the more I think about it. The thorns was the thing I used to take, but I'm just switching it up for this run because I want to figure out like what runs are broken and what runs aren't. What gifts are broken and what gifts aren't. And I wanted to try the first one because I have a decent amount of rupture application with Faust, so this was pre Uptight 4 Faust. Anyways, if the audio sounds really silly, it's because I've sped this up to 1.5 times instead of, so it's audio is much faster. The reason why it's not 2 times is because iMovie sucks at speeding things up to 2 times, and so it was impossible for me to actually. Basically, what would happen is like you would start playing the clip for a couple seconds and then it would freeze, but the audio would keep on going, and so it was just impossible to record anything. Yeah, these fights aren't very interesting, so I won't be saying very much in them. I just win rate them most of the time. I probably shouldn't be doing that. I should probably be paying more attention to whether or not there are extra attacks so that I can use Faust's counter skill, which is something I've been doing more recently. For a lot of Canto 5, I've been constantly looking at enemy attacks, seeing if I'm down on skill slots, and if I'm down on skill slots, then where are those attacks going? If there's an attack that's going through that's not directed at Faust, and I don't have Faust skill 3 on the chain, then I just click Faust counter and call it a day. It's been pretty decent. Path choice. I just go for combats. I've been fairly unimpressed with the, I don't know what they're called, the events. I've been fairly unimpressed with them. They're not terrible. A decent number of them have fights in them, but most of the time I'd rather just take the fights, get my money, and just use the shop at the end for a lot. I don't know if that's correct or not. I should probably try a run at some point. Maybe I'll do it for my 7th one. My 6th one, what did I do? There was, I think, one decision I made where I went for an abnormality fight for the ego gift rather than a path. A path that had an abnormality and an event rather than a path that had 2 fights. So it was slightly less cash, but I figured it was worth it because I got an ego gift out of it, and ego gifts tend to be priced at what? Tier 1 ego gifts tend to be priced at what? Like 100? 150? Thereabouts, and if I got tier 2 out of it, that'd be like 200. So it seems more worthwhile to go for the abnormality and take an event, because it's not like events are just negative. I'll talk more about that run when I record my post-commentary for that, but anyways, not a lot is happening here. I'll probably leave all of this in. I don't really like editing my Mirror Dungeon runs so that people can see all the decisions I make, but yeah, I don't really have much to say here. Okay, so I don't really know what happens when I click the other half of this event. I'm not sure if all events actually, the paths each do different things or not. I imagine it's just in case you're scared of losing your coin flip. Anyways, shop philosophy. I think for this shop, I was less aggressive with re-rolling because I didn't have very much cash. For a decent number of the shops, I'll pretty aggressively re-roll for like 3-star ID skills. That's more of a philosophy I developed recently rather than like something that's going to happen in this recording or even in the next one. The next one I actually pass up on some 3-star ID rerolls. Sorry, 3-star ID skills. Another thing about my shop philosophy, I will tend to buy tier 3 egos, like just regardless of what happens, what type of ego it is, just because I can use it as fodder to make 4-star egos. That being said, I'm not sure if I will continue with this practice. I might, because tier 3 gifts cost a lot. They cost a lot of money. They cost a lot of cash. And run 6, you'll notice that I actually have too many 3-star 3-star gifts, and so I end up tier 3 gifts, and so I end up with a bunch of gifts that don't really do very much, and I can't really turn them into tier 4 rupture gifts because I have no more tier 4 rupture gifts to make. I could still turn them into tier 4 gifts. I think I end up doing that, but given that I'm trying to go for a the rupture achievement, the 15 plus rupture gifts, it's not great to spend a bunch of money on stuff that I just don't need for that achievement, which I sort of need to do my achievements because I sort of want the level 25 and level 30 items. Mainly the level 25 so that I can prep for the Arcanite's run, Arcanite's banner, that's 1,300 lunacy, and then the level 31 so that I can get more IDs, because that's the I think season 5 Deca extraction ticket. So yeah, it would be very nice to have those. Again, not a lot of decisions. I think not a lot of decisions being made here. I think I saw the shop purchase cost minus 30% gift, and I was like, yes, I too love shopping, so that's why I went for that. This is a bit late. So normally what I like to do on 4-1, I forgot to do this time, which is why this is a bit awkward. But normally what I like to do on floor 1 is farm up the sanity on all of my characters. And the main reason for this is just so I have more options during events. It doesn't really come up very often since I don't take many events to begin with, but you know, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, you know? So that's the main motivation behind me going for these, me replacing my base IDs with other base IDs. Yeah, that's all I have to say for now. You'll see me do it again in a bit. For the next fight, I'll swap out my current IDs, my current base IDs for the next set of base IDs, and I just keep on going around in circles until everybody is 45 sanity. Here I was just staring at the bottom to check if this team had maxed out sanity. The awkward part here, of course, is that I took the new theme pack equals +3 levels, and because I took that, I am higher level than all of the enemies here, and so my IDs aren't actually gaining sanity as fast as they could be, which is why it's very awkward that I'm doing this on 4-2 instead of 4-1. It's probably not that big of a problem if you do this 4-1, but it's if you want to avoid this issue, just don't take the theme pack one. That's it. So here, I think I was trying to manipulate my clashes so that other characters would clash with their target instead. It didn't end up working. I clearly still don't have a grasp on how these sorts of encounters work. Somehow focus encounters are easier for me to deal with than this. Or, correction. Focus counters are more intuitive for me to plan around than this. Like, it's sort of difficult for me to plan around regular encounters. It's much easier on my brain power. I just click win rate and call it a day, but it's certainly not easy. It's certainly not more intuitive for me. I don't actually know how that gift works. I think it's only for the first encounter after obtaining it. I think after every encounter after the first one, it doesn't work. I need to read it more carefully, but it's not quite clear to me. I'm not sure if I'll do it this run, but in some of my combats, I will actively slow down my pace. Like, I'll use Faust skill against an enemy who's staggered, and I'll use I'll use all my defense skills against enemies who are staggered. And the main motivation for doing this is because I want to get my other characters, my other IDs, to actually either deal the killing blow or just to get an attack in, because the team that I will carry into boss encounters has an okay gloom generation if you look at it purely from the numbers, but the skills wise, like the characters who have the gloom generation have pretty weak skills for their gloom. Like, their gloom skill is very weak. Yisong's is S1, and I think so is Heathcliff's. I think both of them have S1. And so I don't really want to have to use them in an abnormality, and so sometimes I will just... so I don't want to have to use them in a boss encounter, and so sometimes I will just use them in regular encounters to avoid my other characters like Faust and Sinclair and Honglu, in order to avoid my three strongest characters from murdering the enemy before I get to use my skills. I just turn on their defense skills and call it a day. I'm not sure if that'll happen this run, but it'll happen in run 6. It should happen in this run. That's like it's something I picked up by this point in time. Okay, for this fight I got a bit bored, and so no, it wasn't that. I was thinking about the ego passives, right? I was thinking about the ego passives. So for a lot of these ego activations, I sort of just did it because I wanted to get some of my ego passes online. I don't really know why in hindsight, because none of the passes are actually very good. But I mean, Honglu's SP neutral when he uses his ego, which is pretty nice. Unfortunately, he also consumes a lot of gloom, and if you'll notice on the right side of the screen, you'll notice when it comes back up, you'll notice the gloom bar only has 4 gloom. It'll probably have 5 by the time this round of combat ends, because Only skill is also Gloom. But anyways, it'll only have so much Gloom. I'll only have so much Gloom by the time this round of combat ends, and so that's like part of the reason why I'm trying to farm so much Gloom. Yeah, there's not much else to say here. It's a pretty standard fight. I don't entirely remember what this enemy's gimmicks were. I don't even know if it had any gimmicks. I sort of just killed it. So I didn't really pay attention to its gimmicks. Oh, I think this is the one that summons a giant root at some point in time. I didn't really pay attention because it sort of died by the time it summoned that giant root. So I just said whatever. Am I trying to kill it here? So normally I go for all the clashes. Normally I just try to take as little damage as possible. Here though, it feels like I'm trying. Okay, well, I wasn't trying to kill it, but I don't quite know how much damage this team does in a vacuum. I don't even know how much damage this team does like right now. I should probably keep keeping track of this during my fights. Just like how much damage is my team doing in a turn, so I have a good idea of roughly the life total I need my boss to be at in order for me to just ignore all attacks and go for the kill. The difficult part is that it's like very variable. The damage per turn just changes so much because it frequently depends on which characters. It frequently depends on what skills the characters have, and so you can get like a roundabout estimate, and you can also roughly predict what people's next skill is, but it's not great. Here's me trying to struggle how to deal with the Uber attack. I just shrug. I'll probably figure it out at some point in time. I guess I decided on using Hongu skill to deal with it. But yeah, that's normally I'm like pretty in on just trying to clash with as many things as possible and trying to win as many clashes as possible, but I am aware that like sometimes you can just go for the kill and ignore all the clashing. So yeah.
나? 뭐 최선은 다해보겠다만. 예술이 뭔지 보여주지.
Okay, so one of the worst things when it comes to win rating in Limbus is this. When you have only 2 clashes to make, and then all the rest of your units just target the singular staggered unit that is at the lowest life total. And it's such a pain, because now you have to do the whole combat math of, alright, where do I assign attacks so that I get all my attacks in, and also I don't have to deal with and I don't have to deal with an extra enemy next turn. I think I set up my combat correctly here. I don't actually think I did. So thankfully there wasn't another wave after that, so I didn't have to worry about it. But mainly, what I lost out on was generating resources. As you can see, I still need gloom resources. I didn't get the lighter. I don't actually know what it's called, but there's this like blue lighter that just feeds you gloom every single turn, and it's so useful. It doesn't only give you gloom; it also gives you other affinities. But like the fact that it gives you gloom is just so nice. I didn't get that early enough this run, so I now suffer through not having enough gloom to do anything I want. And so every single fight, I have to like think about, all right, how do I generate gloom this fight? How do I get away with using gloom skills, even though my gloom skills are incredibly weak? And generally speaking, I can't do it for these encounters because these encounters I can't choose my attacks. But like for focused encounters, it is much easier to figure out how to generate my gloom.
목적지는 호기만소. 표정에 따라 실행합니다. 너무 쉽군요. 운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요. 너무 쉽군요. 사장님 봤어요? 너무 쉽군요. 너무 쉽군요. 그이가 미야 나가내지 마. 이제 깨우치시게. 명령에 따를게요. 효율적이라면. 운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요. 어떠냐? 재밌네요. 비켜달라고 재밌네요. 이제 간다. 아름답진 않네. 표정에 따라 실행합니다. 비켜달라고 했잖아요.
Okay, so here you see me get really high on re-rolling skills that I really don't need to re-roll. Like I should have just taken the Sinclair skill here. I should have just taken the Sinclair skill 1 to skill 3 here, especially since Sinclair skill 1 is like pretty unimpactful compared to Faust skill 1. I lucked out. I found Faust skill 1 to skill 3, but it was not the greatest decision to re-roll there, and I think it would have been fine to just go for Sinclair skill 1 to skill 3. Yeah. It was not bit. This boss is cool. I like this boss's music. It's gonna sound really bad in this recording because I have that 1.5 times, but I think this boss's music is dope. I like Millie. Yeah, that's all I have to say about this. First time I did this fight during the story, it was just like, wow. I spent a lot of time on this fight in the story. Yeah, it was mostly just thinking. I just did so much thinking during this fight. I was like trying to figure out what to do, trying to figure out how to deal with all the things that was going on. I somehow did not need to restart. It's very surprising. But it was just very difficult for me to figure out how to deal with this boss because these things, she was not panicked when she transitioned to second phase when I was fighting her during the story. She was ready to slam into me with 4 attacks. And so I was trying to figure out how to deal with 8 attacks, and it was not great. Thankfully I figured it out and we chill. Oh wait, sorry, no, this isn't the Millie one. This is a different one. I can't actually hear the audio while I'm recording this. I can only see the footage, which is very awkward, but... No, the Millie one is a different one. I think it's a different one. My bad. But the music is still very pretty. I guess I'll talk about some decision makings here. Despite the fact that I need Gloom, I never take the Gloom resource one because it feels like a waste. Like that versus cost, like the cost is giving me a gift, whereas the resources I can just generate through combats, it's fine. I don't pay very much attention to what enemies I'm getting when I reroll these theme packs. I'm only paying attention to what gifts I get, because really, the enemies that you get doesn't really matter. I will get punished for my words, for these words, during my next Mirror Dungeon run, but in general, I don't really care about choice of theme pack past what gifts I'm going to get out of that theme pack. What end of floor gifts I will get out of that theme pack. I'm not actually sure how the theme pack ego gifts work. I'm not sure if it's like this is the pool of packs we pull from for the end of floor, this is the pool of packs we pull from for random ego gifts, this is the pool of packs we pull from for any ego gift obtained. I don't think it's the last one because I'm pretty sure I've obtained ego gifts outside of the theme pack ego gifts. I think it's just maybe it's just these are the ego gifts that you'll get before anything else. So like if you're fusing for a Rupture ego gift, you'll get all of the Rupture ego gifts in this pack before you get any Rupture ego gifts outside. I'm not sure. I should probably do some research on that, but it has not come up as very relevant to me, so I just haven't bothered. What's going on here? Alright, there we go.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요. 아름답진 않네. 예술이 뭔지 보여주지. 비켜달라고 했잖아요. 너무 쉽군요. 출진. 너무 쉽군요. 달라고 했잖아요. 좋아, 간다. 산타님, 봤어요? 너무 쉽군요. 잘하는군요. 생각보다 잘 들어갔네.
Okay, I'm not sure if I get. Oh, I do gamble here. So I think on gambling for these ego gifts. It's like on the fence for me whether or not gambling is better than just getting the cost. I think if you're desperate, you're supposed to gamble, and otherwise you just go for the cost because the cost is more consistent, whereas the gambling is more high rolly, but like on average they're the same. So I think you're just supposed to gamble if you really need, if you can't win the run without the gift, and it's fine. The gambling's fine. You'd rather not have to do it, but I mean, I was horsing around. I was having some fun. I saw Rupture and I was like, ooh, Rupture. So, you know, yeah, things happen. People die. What?
명령대로 하겠습니다. 비켜주시면 안 돼요? 산타님, 봤어요? 겁들을 제거하겠소. 산타님, 봤어요? 운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요. 비켜달라고 했잖아요. 하라고? 나? 뭐 최선은 다해보겠다만. 명령대로 하겠습니다. 비켜주시면 안 돼요? 운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요. 비켜달라고 했잖아요. 너무 쉽군요.
Okay, so this is a funny decision, this gift right here. I was trying to figure out how good this would be, and I decided to, I think I ended up deciding to buy it because it's, what? I get 100 now, which is almost full price for the thing, and then I also get to either sell it again or use it as fuse material, which already makes it more valuable to purchase now. Normally I wouldn't go for it. Sorry. So it's I think last run, during my run 4, I saw the item and I didn't go for it. Either that or run 3. I can't remember the specifics. But I think in both of those cases I found it in the floor 5 shop instead of the floor 4 shop. In any case, if I found it during the 4 shop and I didn't take it, it was probably a throw because I think it's basically free. It's actually plus cost. So, whoops, if I found it prior to then, but hopefully I took it then. This guy, I spent a lot of time thinking about this fight because I was like, wow, there are 8 attacks coming in. I only have 6 characters. What should I do? By the way, I've been throwing every single time I bring 6 characters. I'm supposed to be bringing 5 because I should be dropping Yi Sung so I can get an extra skill slot on Faust. Anyways, I don't really know why I panic on this fight so much. I sort of just... Nowadays, I'm sort of realizing that you're supposed to ignore the umbrellas. Just like, as long as you don't get hit, the umbrellas don't do anything, so... It's like, prioritize blocking all of the wolf attacks, and then block whatever umbrellas you can, so that you can kill the umbrellas. Because it's not like you want to leave them around forever, but like... Killing them is fine, so... Ends up working out. Also, Faust is just broken, being able to take 2 actions in a turn anyways because of her skill. Very beautiful, very glorious, super broken. Please don't nerf. Please don't nerf. I think it's cool. Do I get lucky here and not have any... Oh, yes, Honglu. Yeah, so the Honglu kill on the umbrella was very relevant. Got me, so, because it means I don't have to worry about them. Yeah. Rest of the fight, basically you do the normal thing, clash with every single fight, clash with every single attack, and mitigate how much damage you're taking. Yeah. So now you see here, I am now looking through the ego gifts list, trying to figure out which pack to take, because I was trying to figure out like which one has the most rupture gifts that I don't currently have, and I ended up, I think I ended up selecting Gloom. I'm not actually sure. Okay, yeah, I did. I end up spoiler alert, I end up selecting Gloom again for run 6. I haven't done run 7 yet. I end up selecting this for run 6. Run 6. Sorry, I'm not actually sure if it's run 6 anymore, because I need to check my battle pass. I think my battle pass actually says this is run 7. Not this current run, but the run that I just did is run 7. I'll check in a little bit. Anyways, I ended up taking Gloom again for run 6 or 7, whatever one it is, the next run, and it wasn't that bad. I didn't fail the run. I just was very upset I took it because it was, oh, actually no, that happened 4-4. Run 7, just dealing with the Gloom enemies with sinking was just so much of a pain. Like, thankfully it's not as bad here as it is in the Threadlux. Like, God, that fish makes me so... It's not even a fish, I don't know what it is. It's some weird blob-like thing, and it makes me so angry. Because I don't have any characters that want negative SP for their clashes, because I don't have any negative coin power characters. And boy does that abnormality punish you if you don't have negative coin power characters. So just not great. This guy's pretty chill, but the weird looking multiple eyes blob thing that I'm probably gonna have to fight during Kanto 5, because Kanto 5 is about to see, spoiler alert, odd order for spoiler. Anyways, Kanto 5 is a thing, and I don't. So yeah, I should probably be paying more attention to what enemies are appearing in the packs that I take. It ends up working out for that run. It also ends up working out for this run, but for future reference, especially since like anything works in normal mode, really. You have to actively throw in order to lose your normal runs. Then again, I also have broken characters, so I would have to actively throw in order to lose my normal runs. If you have all base centers, I'm not actually sure how hard you would have to throw in order to lose. I don't even know if you need to throw in order to lose. You might lose even if you're not throwing. Who knows? Anyways, taking all the path of the money and the ego gifts. This was a very good path. I was very happy with this path at the time.
봤어요? 명령대로 하겠습니다. 비켜주시면 안 돼요? 이제 깨치시겠네. 비켜달라고 했잖아요. 단테님 봤어요? 재밌네요. 너무 쉽군요. 명령대로 하겠습니다. 비켜주시면 안 돼요? 딜리버리 캐리어 출력 상태. 신속한 대처를 권장드립니다. 의미 없는 살세를 제한합니다. 배달을 즉시 수행하여 기아의 목숨을 보장하십시오. 운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요. 극복의 거울은 깨졌어.
좋아, 간다.
좋은 전략입니다. 이 오티스 참전합니다.
좋아, 간다. 셔츠는 낙엽하오.
비켜주시면 안 돼요? 운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요. 달라고 했잖아요. 명령대로 하겠습니다. 좋은 생각. 단테님 봤어요? 너무 쉽군요. 그가 위에 이제 깨우치시게. 명령에 따를게요. 효율적이라면.
셔츠는 낙엽하오.
그가 위야 막아내지 못하리.
고개 거울은 깨졌어.
비켜달라고 했잖아요.
Okay, so another weird thing about the win rate spamming is that win rate spamming doesn't actually
볼 일 있나요?
work very well for focus encounters for actually getting high win rates. You'll notice here I got like a bunch of random neutral fights. It's because I think it's because I don't actually know why this is, because if I assigned it from left to right in like decreasing speed, I'm pretty sure all of because I think that's what I did. I think I just ended up assigning all of these from left to right, and since your latest assignment overwrites your previous in terms of clash, like if two characters are both able to clash with an enemy, the one that you assign the latest will be the one that clashes. And so I don't really know why for some reason my earlier characters are clashing instead of my later characters, even though my later characters are better at clashing if it assigns it from left to right. So it must be assigning from right to left, but that's like I don't know why it would do that. Because I'm not sure. I mean, it could just be a language thing. What languages are read right to left nowadays? Not a lot, actually. I was gonna say Japanese, but technically that's more like a traditional prose Japanese thing, not a current prose. I don't actually know about Korean. I don't speak Korean. I don't read Korean. I mean, I read manhwa, but like that doesn't count because I read it in English. So anyways, don't really know why that happens. It could also just be a weird coding thing, but it is another quirk of win rate that I've been noticing, where like it doesn't actually do highest win rate. Which is fine. Like, it's nice to have to do it yourself, but it is sort of silly. Guess I didn't get that this run. Anyways, this is just me doing some fusing. I think So I misinterpreted one of the buffs for the rest bonuses, mainly the one that gives you 10% coins per floor. I still don't know how that one works, but it also says sale price increased by 50%. And I thought this was supposed to be like that first item you buy in a shop gets reduced by 50% for some reason. Like the sale on that item gets increased by 50%. You get a 50% better deal on it. It's not. It's you. It's whatever you sell. The sell value gets increased by 50%. And so I should have been selling something at every single floor to take full advantage of this. I didn't end up doing that. Very awkward. And I only find this out like in run 6. So that's a bit awkward, but yeah. Also doing all my enhancements now instead of as I go, because, you know, if you don't need the power boost right now, you might as well not upgrade right now and save your costs, save your money for something that you might need it to buy instead of upgrade. Or in my case, to use it to stack up cash every single floor. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm doing all of this enhancing at the end of the run, and that's why my last shop tends to be my longest shop, because I'm just trying to figure out what to upgrade and trying to figure out what to fuse as well, because I don't have the fuse rest bonus. I think if I had the fuse rest bonus, I would be fusing every single floor instead of just this floor, but I don't really want to spend all my rest bonus on one rest thingamajig, and it's not like, because I feel like having a bunch of rest bonuses that synergize together very well is better than having one super powerful rest bonus. Yeah. Mainly this shop is just me trying to figure out what to upgrade. Logic for upgrading, there is none. It's really just like what benefits Faust the most, because Faust is the strongest character on this team. Frankly, had the rest of the team died and Faust stayed alive, I would still be able to win my combats, so. That's a lie. Faust would not have enough skill slots, but you get my point. If Faust is broken, the run is over. I guess I'll talk a bit more about this final fight. So, I mean, yeah, here is just like I'm winning all my clashes, so here is just like I'm trying to win all my clashes, so I just do whatever I can in order to make sure I win all my clashes. Clearly I lost that one, which was very disappointing, but it doesn't matter very much. That being said, like, really, decision making here isn't very important, because you're so overpowered at this point that, like, this boss is going to die next turn. It doesn't really matter what you do this turn. This boss is going to die next turn. Which is pretty funny. I got pretty lucky with this Faust skill 3 being in my first skill rotation, because I forgot that Faust's counter also works for trying to trigger skills. But yeah, this guy has 101 rupture. I don't know why. It just happened, and that's why he just dies this turn. Like, I don't need to do anything. You're just broken at this point, which is why you don't really need to pay attention. So yeah, that was the run. Thanks for watching. I'll just let this ending play out, and then I will see you all in the next one.
옛날부터